Thanks for tuning in to Going Bright. Today we'll get an update on the shop build and a little bit of where I'm headed on my health and recovery. So stay tuned. Hey Thor, how you doing? I crouched down, but I'm sitting on crutches now. Yeah. Gonna hop in the car with us? You gonna go to church?
Hi.
Not sure about that? Oh, there you go. Are you gonna take my seat to church? Okay.
We can't leave Daddy behind.
Well, I finally got a handicapped sticker, and yay, so I can kind of help get a little bit better parking. I'm going to try crutches a little bit today, but in church, I think I'm going to do the wheelchair. I don't know how far I can go before it starts hurting. I guess we'll see. But this is the first steps, walking around. I start work again on Monday, so that's tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. I get to work remote but I got a new manager. That'll be exciting. And a new team. Hopefully it'll be similar to what I was doing, but we'll see. Well, after about a year of planning, we finally got shop going up. So that should be awesome. See how quick they do it. Well, making progress. Got two of the trusses up for the span. So exciting. I'm just hoping that there's no thresholds at my doors when they're done. I guess we'll see how that part works out. Would have thought they'd use the lift for that, but a little adjusting here and there. Should be good. Got all the trusses up. Yay. Just wonder if they're going to get the threshold cut. I'm still waiting on that. So I'm going to see if I can start addressing some of these projects I've had for a while. Those are cabin filters for the Tesla Model 3. They need to go in there, and yeah, let's see if I can get this knocked out. So one of the other fun things I got to do, I hadn't really even known that this was a thing until I was watching a YouTube channel. And I guess the thing to do is to go out and stand in front of a window on Main Street at Walt Disney World, Magic Kingdom, and have your picture taken if you're a cast member. So here I am at the casting agency, which is down on Main Street, just kind of standing there, getting my photo taken. But that was fun to do. It gave the family something to hunt for. We're like, hey, let's go see if we can find this window on Main Street and then get my photo taken. So that was kind of fun. We did have an enjoyable day on Saturday, kind of walking around and seeing most of the Magic Kingdom. All right, so here's a fun story. Let's see, Saturday we went to the Magic Kingdom, and it was the preceding day that I had gone through and seen the foot doctor, and they kind of said, well, you should took the cast off and put me in a boot, and a walking boot, so I could start walking around. I said, okay. Tested me out. I was still a little unsure about putting weight on that foot. But she said, this is what's going to happen. You're going to go through physical therapy, and you're going to start using this more and more as you walk and build up strength. So I'm like, okay, fine. So we went to the Magic Kingdom, and I was in the wheelchair most of the day. But when it came time to go on a couple rides, like the Haunted Mansion we went on, and that's an Omnimover. It's a continuously moving thing, and once in a while you may be annoyed because when you're on the Haunted Mansion, it stops. Well, it's probably because of somebody like me. We roll the wheelchair up to the end of that little conveyor where you get off the Haunted Mansion, and they stop it, and I get out, and I can take my time getting into the Doom buggy, and then they clear the wheelchair out of the way, and we proceed to go through the ride and do something similar to let me off, which is really kind of neat. It gives the handicapped folks like me at the moment time to get on and off of the ride. But in that circumstance, I only had to like take one step. So I still haven't really exercised walking around too much with the walking boot on my foot until we got to the Tomorrowland Transit Authority, or the People Mover. It was at this point where I thought maybe there was an elevator. I wasn't sure how this was going to work, but I says, let's just wing it and see what they say. The greeter at the People Mover didn't say anything, just kind of waved, and we rolled on through the queue, and we get up to this this part of the conveyor belt that takes you up to the upper platform. And they're like, yeah, well, you're going to have to park your wheelchair here. There's no other way to get up here. You have to ride the conveyor belt up to the top and then take some steps and ride the new conveyor belt over to get onto the actual People Mover. And I'm like, haven't done this. Is there any other way? And they're like, nope, this is how it works here if you want to ride. And I'm like, let me give it a shot. Because in theory, I should be able to do this. I'm just not really too sure about doing it. And I got up, got onto the conveyor belt, went up. Long story short, it turned out all fine. I just had to hang on to something because normally I'm supposed to be walking around with crutches or something so that I can keep myself stable. I'm not supposed to really be putting full weight on that. It's not like going out sprinting, running without anything to offset some of the weight on there. But it all turned out fine. What this showed me was it gave me confidence in being able to get out and walk more. So I've been using the crutches, walking around a little bit more, being able to leave the wheelchair that was my buddy for the last, 7 weeks now, to allow me to get around and so forth. So it was a neat experience. It was, I think, the hurdle that I took where I was literally forced to have to be in public and walk somewhere unaided with no crutches and no wheelchair. So, well, today is my first day back at work. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, so I've been kind of distracted with that. I haven't been keeping track of what these guys are up to, but there's a whole lot of framing, if you will, that's gone up. They're getting the one end cap filled in. It looks like where they were pulling in the telehandler. And yeah, by Wednesday we should have this about done. So I may wrap this up for this update for the week and pass on the finished one for next week as we get things moved in. But saw doctors last couple days. Today I saw the one for my shoulder, and he indicates that I can't really do any damage. They can do a surgery or not do a surgery. He's kind of vague on what it is. So we kind of landed on, because if I did surgery, I'd end up being in a sling for like 6 weeks or so. So that doesn't work too well with me using crutches to get around. So probably put off any concept of a surgery for several weeks until I can get my foot back in shape. Friday I do the evaluation for my foot, and that's the other bit is I'm also going to be doing physical therapy for the shoulder. So they'll do that evaluation if they have time on Friday. If not, I'll do another PT session to finish the evaluation of my shoulder. Do that for about 6 weeks and see how it goes. That's, I guess, the long story is with a type 3 AC injury. They kind of said, well, sometimes they need surgery, sometimes not. And they've divided it into type 3A and B. One of those gets surgery and one of them doesn't. And a lot of it has to do with how well I do going through a physical therapy. So that's where I'm at with the health-wise. Just super excited, though, that this shop is getting up and done. It'll be so nice to have a lot of the stuff that's in the garage and in the shed spread out and in a place where I can actually find things and start getting things organized. So anyway, thanks for all the prayers, and keep it up. I'm still healing. We'll get there, though. And everybody has been awesome coming back into work today. So thanks for watching. If you get a chance, subscribe. I do these whenever I have news to update. But Yeah, it may be more frequent now as we get the shop done and as I get physical therapy going, but we'll see. God bless, and thanks for tuning in to Going Bright.